Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's event, YOLO International. And we are getting close amongst a lot of events that are happening. We have conference that will be happening in Tampa in really less than, goodness gracious, 5 weeks, almost maybe 6 weeks. So we have that conference that'll be happening. If those of you that are planning on coming to conference, I must have your payment in for the meal plan. And I have to give final numbers this next week. So, Ariane, if I can mute you, that would be, gotcha. So I need you guys to go ahead and get those in. There's an Eventbrite, but I do need to know by the end of this week because space is limited and I need to let the venues know with regards to that space. So please make sure to get it in and hopefully to bring other people with you because conference, it's great that you're coming, but the most important thing is for you to get you and someone else. And I always say to people, if anything, we're going to have a great time and meet lots of great people. So that's the big thing that I would share with regards to that. The second thing is we have Barcelona that's coming up in November. And we will be having team from around the world at that event as well. It looks like we have over 125, 150 people that are going to be in Barcelona. So make sure you get in, let me know as well. If you're going to be coming to Barcelona, we will be doing a welcome reception, got something planned fun for you guys over there as well for Barcelona. So that our company and our business is all about events and really not making those events negotiable. It's if you were to buy a franchise in any kind of business, they would tell you what conferences you need to be at. So it's not, I think that in our business, because it's such a low investment of only $50, sometimes we treat it like it's a $50 investment versus that, you could be, make yourself a lot of money in this business. And you got to treat it like you invested $500,000 in your business. So if you're on this call, you should have your reservations for the next conference. Zoe, I know you've got the 90-day game plan that will be coming up there in that area. So that's the next event that they would be planning for there in Australia. But everybody else, if you're on the call, it's either to get yourself to Barcelona or to get yourself to Tampa or both. And I'm going to actually use, there's so many great resources that we have amongst us. And I'm just going to share one of those resources right now with you guys. And so let's see if I can go ahead and do this. I want to share a video with you that I think is a great thing let's see how I do this. Let's see how I share this. To start us off on tonight's call. So let's see how I can do this. Hang on. Let's see how I can. Excuse me for 1 second. How I figure this out.
I'm working.
Let me see how I can share this with you. Darn it. Not doing so well with this. Let me see.
People,
can you guys see this or
which
no?
One of my favorite things to do.
No? Can't see it? Okay. You can't see that.
No, I can, Lauren.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can see it.
You could see Eric talking?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw Eric.
Okay. You're watching Eric.
Coaching people, guess what I look at first? Show me your calendar. Come on. And they're like, what? They get this big scared look. I'm supposed to have a calendar? It's on my phone. I said, bullshit. Show me your phone then. They're like, well, what do you mean? I want to see your calendar. And if you're not going to employ yourself, if you want to be coached by me, I'm going to employ you. Show me. Show me what hours you're scheduled to prospect, what hours you're scheduled to follow up, what hours you're scheduled to close and get people started, what hours you're scheduled to train your group, communicate with your team. What are your hours for real? Show me. Show me where the follow-up is. Show me where the schedule is. Show me where the events are. Show me. You got to show me your calendar. I saw a documentary on Joan Rivers. She was one of the most prolific, hard-working women in comedy. Whether you like her or not doesn't matter. But in the documentary, she was in her 80s or something and working hard. And she says, you want to see what terror looks like? And she opened up a page to a calendar that was empty. That's terror to me. page before, it was all filled. She said, that brings me joy. That means I'm out there, doing my thing in the world. An empty calendar should be terrorizing to you, should be so frightening to you. Most of you don't even have one. What does your calendar look like as you leave here from now to the end of the year? If you have a calendar filled with specific activities, you're going to win. If you're just winging it, I can guess your income. I can guess your bank balance. If you're just winging it, decide to be a little bit more structured. If you want to be a network marketing professional, what would Elon Musk do if he had your distributorship? What would Steve Jobs do if he had your distributorship? What would Bill Gates do if he had your distributorship? Or Mark Cuban do if he had your distributorship? What would he do with the time? He or she or anybody. What would they do with the gift that they had, and how would they value it? They'd go after it. Now, I'm not saying you have to be full-time. I'm saying in the time that you have to be efficient. Next, please. Make the hours that you set sacred. Most of you will set your hours, but anything in the world will knock those hours off track. You get a cold, those hours go out the window. Somebody in the family has a crisis, those hours go out the window. You'll still go to your job, but your network marketing business isn't sacred. Until it's sacred, there's only so far you're going to go. You got to treat these hours sacred. You got to treat this commitment on a sacred level and go after it. Even though network marketing is forgiving, don't ask for the forgiveness every day.
Awesome. So let's see. Okay, let's stop that. Stop, Eric. So I want to just talk about that for just a second. And
if I'm approaching cold market intimidating, what's the best advice to do that?
Let me turn them off.
Cold market's intimidating. People are just people.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that. I thought that that was an important thing to really discuss right now, is really talking about our calendar. I just got back from a session, even though I'm here in North Carolina. I broke away for an hour to spend some time with Christy, who's new on the team, and we really set a calendar. You know, she's just getting started in the business, and we're talking about what events that we're doing. She's already committed to make sure she's coming there to Tampa and bringing people with her. And then we talked about her daily calendar with regards to it. So I'd love to just talk about this for a second, because we want to find out, first of all, you guys, what's your chokehold? You know, what is your chokehold from really getting you going in this business? Is it, is it not setting a calendar? Is it not committing to those dates? Is it not seeing that big vision for yourself? Is it not having a buddy? And these are, once again, let's just talk a little bit about those chokeholds for ourselves. And anything we look at, and I talked about this before, was we want to do 1, 2, 3 of things, and then anything else past that is too many. So what are we really looking at doing? We're putting on customers, we're putting on distributors, and we're doing events. Really, that's what we're doing. And not just me doing these events, like us doing these calls and you showing up to the calls, but you doing those team calls together as well. And you putting on those events. So this morning on our leadership call, we talked about other people doing shreds together, combining your efforts, having, 100 people on a shred call would be great. Checking in daily, a daily check-in shred call. So let's talk first, just real quick, about what are the chokeholds. Let's talk about, what does your calendar look like? What does your calendar need to look like in order for you to create the business that you say you want to create and duplicate with others? So anybody want to start? Let's just start with somebody talking about their calendar. And
I'll talk about mine, Loren.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I set myself up once a month, the first Monday in every month. So a live event in my local cafe with another sideline here in Australia. And it came to the second event, so the second event that we'd run together yesterday, and I realized there's too much distance between those events. And I know for me, I need urgency and I need momentum, and it was not creating momentum for me. So now I've set myself up that I have to go back to once a week. I have to do it once a week. And with having a baby, in the next 6 weeks, I know that I will need that community to meet up with as well, that I will need them just as much as they need me. So if I can set myself once a week, I create momentum for myself and I create urgency, and then I do invite people, and then I do get that momentum that then feeds onto putting customers on, putting team on.
Awesome.
So
So, you know,
It's absolutely right. It rang true in my head. You know, if you've got events and your calendar's full, I know that I work well and I know that my business thrives.
awesome. Very cool. And what about for your team? What are they doing? Are they
Well, they're not as active. So, you know, they use like the online stuff more than the face-to-face. I really enjoy the face-to-face because that's how I work well. And with having little children, it doesn't always work well. You know, like it says, keep that time sacred. Sometimes you have to keep that time sacred, and it goes off on my calendar. Actually, believe it or not, I have a DMO twice a day that goes off, once at 7 a.m. and once at 2 p.m. And although they go off, the 7 a.m. one is not at the right time, so I'm going to have to move that time because it's right in the middle of making lunches for the family. And unless I get my act together and work hard to finish it, you know, 6:45 so that I'm then, you know, free to do my 20 minutes of DMO that I've set aside myself in that morning, then, you know, but I'm actually choosing at the moment to let it slide, and I need to actually prioritize it.
So that's a really great thing that you just shared, Zoe, of you sharing that you choose to let it slide, right? And so you just understanding that it just hasn't been a priority, right, for you. So
Yeah.
So awesome. The other thing I want to share with you guys is next week is that we have Katie Wren that's going to be on our next week talking about being a new mama and building her Juice Plus business. So she'll be on this event next week at this time. Awesome. Callie, you want to go next? Callie? Maybe Callie's there? Or
Yeah, I'm just unmuting myself. I think for me, I really need to schedule in follow-ups because like I've been really good with building relationships and then just dedicating the time to follow up to introduce the business. So that's what I'm really going to focus on this year. And I really love just what he said about, because I know when I've been the most productive, I did have scheduled time slots, and I've kind of let that go a little bit. But I really want to focus on following up, because I know I didn't feel really confident in the beginning with building new relationships when I first started the business. I think the network of people that I was in communication with was very small. And so I've expanded that. And now it's just,
so
you know,
you want to find out really what's that winning formula. So what did you do to get comfortable doing that so you can get comfortable with the follow-up? So what did you do to build those new relationships to now get comfortable with with now, you know, building those new relationships, and now you can use that same strategy to get comfortable with following up?
I think I used resources like I signed up for Teamsy for a month just to kind of figure out, you know, just to see what structure that was, or I did a couple of trainings. Or I think I also modeled people that were really good at staying in touch. Like my friend Michelle, you know, she's a really great networker, and we went to the gym once and we met this girl, and then in the locker room she was writing in her note section her child's name, where she met her, so little things like that. So I just figured out just different ways to continue the relationship, or, you know, commenting on what's going on in their life on Facebook. And then just not like being so quick to bring up Juice Plus out of the blue, just really asking questions and really getting curiously interested in what's important to people to build the relationship that way, making sure I get their contact and then just, you know, checking in with them.
Right.
So those are the things I did, but I would like to be more structured about it. So I don't think I need Teamsy. It's not really worth the money for me, but I like the strategy of looking at your contacts and just going through, you know, just going through your list of contacts and picking up the phone or meeting in person to continue with that relationship. But I have a lot of people that I really want to follow up with. And so just setting aside that time, that's my focus for this month.
Right. Awesome. Andre or Kimberly. Kimberly. Oh, let me unmute you. Oh, can't unmute you. Maybe you can unmute yourself. Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Yep. I can't hear you, Kimberly. Can you guys hear her? No. Can't hear you. Let's try Andre, and then Kimberly will come back to you. I don't know if it's your headphones. Andre. So the biggest thing I really
Hi.
yeah, go ahead, Andre.
So I think that I guess because of my schedule, it doesn't matter. I usually have been more of a retrospective scheduler. So I do have a calendar and I do schedule things in there, the things that are kind of immovable. And I set up to this point, and that's changing as well. But up to this point, I've been actually just setting blocks of like, this is what I'm going to do with Juice Plus. But because I haven't broken it down so much, time passes by without really achieving things that I feel are substantial. That's changing now with the Spanish call. That's giving me structure, and that's actually giving me kind of like a through thread. And with that, it also is giving me kind of like a purpose when I have conversations. And what I found, when I've started filling that calendar, even though I feel that there's a lot more to be filled up, I feel that now the conversations aren't less frantic. They have a purpose, and there's kind of like a framework to it.
Right.
But I do feel that I need to get a lot more structure.
Well, let me help you guys out for a second. So when you signed up for this business, right?
Yeah.
Think about what you needed. You needed someone to tell you what. Just tell me what. I'm just thinking back to myself, right? And
Yeah.
I'm looking for a winning strategy. People want what? Which of the needs is the most important one for people to have?
Certainty. At the beginning, certainty. That's structure.
That's correct. So if our most important thing to do with people when they're starting in this business is to give them what? Is to give them certainty.
Yeah.
That means letting them know that every Monday at 10 a.m. there's a leadership call. Letting them know at 1 p.m. there's always a call for how to fast track to sales coordinator. Letting them know at 5:30 there's always this event with Cheryl, and then letting them know at 6 p.m. there's always at 6:30 p.m. there's always this event where we're going to have guest speakers, and we're going to be talking about different things with regards to building their business. Letting them know when the conferences are, so they can go ahead and confirm those dates. Letting them know where the boot camps are, because we know that everything is about events, right? So we need to give them the certainty of events. All your job to do is to do what? To
guide them to them.
Talk to people and to get them. So as Jeff and Cheryl say, you bring the people, we'll bring the presentation. Yep. Right? So yep. You have many resources to be able to do that. You have Shred 10. You have conference calls that are, a gazillion conference calls. You have videos that are on the Juice Plus channels. You have so many different things. So your job is to give people 100% certainty. And the certainty goes, okay, first of all, you want to find out what somebody's their vision is. You're going to say to them, how much time are you willing to give this? Zoe, you said you really want to do this. Is this something, what could this mean to you? What could something like this mean to you? And she tells me what this could mean to her. This could mean what to you, Zoe? This could mean what?
This could mean the difference between me actually, seeing my family again in the UK or never seeing them again.
Okay, so in order for you to see your family again in the UK and to be able to do this and to be able to take all
$20,000.
$20,000 a year, a month?
No, just, well, $20,000 a year. Yeah.
So for her, so that means we're looking at about $1,500, no, about $2,000 a month, right? So what are you willing to do in order to be able to make about $2,000 a month? Because you're going to need spending money over there. So what are you willing to do? Tell me how much time you're willing to commit.
I'm willing to commit like between 9 and 3 on 3 days a week. So it's 15 hours.
Willing to commit 15 hours. So now I know her commitment level, right? So what that means that we're going to need to do, and then I need to give her a game plan. I'm going to say, you know what, you're over in Australia. You need to mark out on your Tuesday these times. And I tell her specifically what she needs to do to mark out. First of all, you want to bring people to these calls. The other thing you want to do is you want to make a list of everybody that you know, love, and care about, you know, that you see also as influencers in your community, or it don't even have to be in your community, but an international business that you can build anywhere. So I'm building what? Certainty for her. My job is to build certainty for her. I'm telling her what she needs to do. I'm finding out, first of all, what she's willing to commit. So you're telling me you're willing to commit 15 hours a week. Is that what you're saying? Willing to do? You're willing to do that? So my suggestion, you know, we are all about events. So we have online events. We have events in person. You have the 90-day game plan that's coming up there. I would commit to getting at least 10 people, you know, that you can to that 90-day game plan event that's taking place. I know your sister's over in the UK. We want to get some people over to Barcelona, you know, because I'm going to be over in Barcelona and I'm going to be able to take care of them. We have people in the United States. We have Tampa that's coming up. But the goal is for you to get to us in front of as many people as we can, whether that's online or whether that's at live events. And then for you, you want to make sure to bring them to those events, right? And you to host events. A lot of people know, somebody's phone.
Sorry, that was me.
Okay. So that that's what you want to be able to do. So she's already told me 15 hours. If you committed 15 hours a week, you know, to really do these, what we call income producing activities, which is talking to people, following up with people, getting new customers, getting new distributors, doing events. Those are all what we call above the line activities, you know? So that's really what it takes. 15 hours is a lot. That's great if you can really commit to 15 hours, right? So she's already told me, so I already know her commitment level, and I help her lay out what those 15 hours look like. So that means, great, you want to mark out at least an hour a day, you know, to an hour a day. Can you do an hour a day to call people and follow up with people? Could you do that every day? Awesome. Would you commit to getting on your Tuesday, my Monday, to at least an hour and a half's worth of calls? Great. So now I've got 5 hours, 6 hours. Would you commit to doing at least 2 events a week? 2 events. I know you're pregnant, but could you commit to doing 2 events? One could be online and one could be live. So now we're already just at, guess how many hours we're at, guys? We're only at 7 hours right now. Could you commit to getting, you know, if one of your people was doing an event that you could get on and help them host that event? Great. That's another hour, let's say, that you're going to commit to do for 1 or 2 people. Could you commit to being a shred call every day for, you know, with some of the people that are on this call here, they're hosting a shred event? Could you commit to do that? Great. So that we're only at, just so you know, again, we're only at 9.5 hours so far. So she's telling me she's committing 15 hours a week. So would you commit to do at least 1 post a day on Facebook and social media? Great. So then that's going to take you 5 minutes. So that's another 30 minutes. We're at 10 hours right now. So it sounds like you've got 5 hours. What would you like to do with that other 5 hours that you're going to commit to every week?
Prospects and follow up and things like that.
So then you're saying that you want to do another hour. So you're going to do 2 hours a day of prospecting and follow up? Or is that just an hour a day?
I reckon I'd probably burn out if I did that. So I reckon, like, if I do it in half an hour slots max.
Great. So why don't we just start with 10 hours a day? Let's start with 10 hours a week. With 10 hours a week, if she committed really 10 hours a week, what do you think will happen with her business? 10 hours a week. A lot.
Good.
It's very good. If she just committed, I don't want to like fill up that 15 hours. If I can show her she can do that with that 10 hours. How many of you guys get this? I can't see anybody, so I can't see that who's responding.
Yeah, absolutely. That it makes it, you know what? It's what Tony Robbins talks about, how sometimes if you just break it down and chunk down the steps, it makes it much more simple than when you, like, for example, right now, when you broke it down and you gave her activities for 10 hours rather than 15 hours, it actually made me like, oh, it's really simple. I can actually do this, rather than saying, oh my God, like the way I feel many times where like, oh my God, I have to fill the calendar, and oh my God, it's this step, and oh my God, hold on. Like there's a lot of small steps that I was adding to it
So
that you took.
for all of you, a great thing to do is think about, how much time am I willing to commit to my business a week? How much time am I willing to do? So if I'm going to set a time in my calendar that I'm going to do those 1 hour follow-up calls, I'm going to commit to doing an event. I'm going to commit to doing whatever, and just schedule that in your time. How many of you guys could commit to doing that? It's really not that, not that difficult with regards to it. You guys get that? So that's what, when we're talking about doing your calendar, that's really what we're looking about doing. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? Yeah? Yeah? Everybody good with it?
Yep.
Yep.
So I want
Yeah.
you to really focus on this week. We're at our time. So I want you guys to really focus on this week. Let's post our calendars. If you really want to look at what really created momentum, especially over in Australia, it was when Celine had everybody do their calendar and just talked about who they were going to follow up with that day, what events they were going to do. You want to look at success, and success leaves clues. As I share with you over and over again, Adam committed from the very beginning. He was going to do 2 events a week. He started, for the day he signed up, he said he was going to do 2 events a week, right? That's been his winning formula, with regards to everything. It's all about events. And it doesn't have to be it could be a Juice Plus making complete balls event. It could be a wine event just to get people together, to just drip on people, not necessarily even share about the business right away. This is just building curiosity and building community. You're looking at building community, right? And to create curiosity where people want to be a part of that. Is that fair with you guys? So like I said, I just got a text from Katie. She said she is confirmed for next week. You definitely want to get people with regards to that. So how do you do an online event? So Kimberly, who's your sponsor, sweetie? Oh, can you text? And we can't hear you. Just follow. There's lots of different online events that we do. Mo's probably one of the best people with online events. Maybe Mo will be willing to. Great. So it looks like Nicole. So Nicole and Suzanne can connect with you guys and share with you about doing on an online event with you. So they can share with you a little bit about the online event. So Suzanne and Nicole, you guys will want to follow up with Kimberly to support her and show her the resources that are also there on our Freedom Revolution. Hopefully, Kimberly, you've gone through the Freedom Revolution. Have you gotten an opportunity to go through the Freedom Revolution? Yep. Okay, I can't hear you still, but that's okay. All right. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Let's post those events on there, and let's build for the event with Katie next week. All right. But, yeah.
And Loren, can I add that, that call we had with Renee a couple of weeks ago?
With who?
With Renee, your sideline, who told us all about her customer care and all the events. That's
yeah. Oops.
Sorry, that's been so inspirational for me. And I've gone back and I've kind of like, right, that is definitely what I want to bring to my hometown.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's such a great thing, everything that she said, like looking at the seasons, or looking at, you have your team page and then you have your customer page. Everything is parallel, right? Like, it's so inspiring for her to go, oh my God, it really is. Everything is parallel. So, taking the time to build that team page, building out that customer page, right? Making sure to add value in those groups. So I think you guys all, awesome. I've got to find out where everything, I'm here in North Carolina, as I said, so I will get going again to make sure all those things are posted. Okay. All right, guys.
Awesome. Thank you. Good night.
Thanks, Loren.